Jack Reacher is on the road again and headed for a new season on the Amazon streaming service. The new season is based on Lee Child's hit book Persuader. However, like any adaptation, there are bound to be changes. Featuring a story with Reacher going undercover and trying to gain the trust of a suspected arms dealer, Season 3 offers new surprises and fresh faces. Join Screen Rand as we look at the upcoming season and some of the biggest predictions for the continuing series. Barbara Gottman, she's 79, so be nice. Why wouldn't I be nice? First off, let's talk about the biggest change from book to show and how it can relate to an upcoming spin-off. Frances Neagley is undoubtedly Jack Reacher's best friend and closest ally. Played by Maria Sten, Neagley is a former special investigator with Reacher's old unit. In Season 2, we got some of her backstory, but Season 3 will probably give us an even bigger piece. We'll likely see how Reacher and Neagley first developed their kinship. A flashback featuring Reacher and Neagley could show us the first trials they went through and perhaps a case that bonded them together. On top of that, Neagley will be joining Reacher in helping solve the problems that arise in Season 3. Given that Neagley told him at the end of Season 2 that he needed to call her more often, he may need someone to watch his back while he's undercover. Conversely, since Reacher is working with the DEA on this mission, and he's been betrayed by government officials before, it's also likely that he will have Neagley keeping an eye on his own handlers. Neagley was not in the original book, so her inclusion in this season has the potential to cause a significant divergence in the plot. Finally, it's already been announced that Maria Sten is getting her very own spin-off series. Expect at least an episode or two that sets up plot lines for this new show. Neagley may have her own connections to the bad guy, played by Brian T., whose character is said to have a connection to Reacher's time in the military, and this may connect to Neagley as well. The finale of Reacher season May 3rd even serve as a pilot for Neagley's spinoff. Where is she? You seem upset. One of the biggest complaints about Season 2 of Reacher was the titular character's absurd plot armor. While even the first season established that the hulking drifter had no problem beating up 6 to 10 people at once, Season 2 took it to the extreme. Nothing seemed like it could even pose a challenge to Reacher. However, Season 3 will change that with one name, Pulley, played by the mountainous Oliver Rader. Pulley is one of the few book characters as physically imposing as Reacher himself. Acting as a number 2 to Brian T.'s Quinn, Pulley could, and honestly should, out-and-out kick Reacher's ass in their first encounter. By introducing a character who can negate Reacher's physical advantage, it will force him to think smarter, not just hit harder. It's also far more dramatic and raises the stakes if Reacher definitively loses an early fight with Pulley. This would remove some of the character's plot armor, and the audience might begin to believe that Reacher can't win every situation. This would up the investment in the story and build hype for the eventual rematch between the two. The Dark Knight Rises uses a similar plot with Bane and Batman's one-sided first encounter. Reacher Season 3 could use the same element to make Reacher feel like an underdog, not an all-powerful superhero. All your money. Jack Reacher is kind of a scary person, capable of killing off henchmen in some brutal and calculated ways. Jack Reacher's moral code is very suspect. This is a double-edged sword when it comes to the audience connecting with him. On the one hand, it's always satisfying watching him take apart a cocky henchman. However, it's hard to connect with someone who thinks it's okay to kill a hospital-bound man with an extremely painful air embolism. Season 3 will need to correct some of the damage done, and it has the perfect character to do it with in Persuader. Reacher ends up in the good graces of a suspected arms dealer by rescuing his son from an attempted kidnapping. He is then hired to be the boy's bodyguard. Johnny Birch is playing Richard Beck, the son of Anthony Michael Hall's character, Zachary Beck. Richard is described in the book as a skinny, unconfident, and fearful young man, the perfect person for Reacher to take under his wing. Season 1 already showed that just being around Reacher can turn someone like Oscar Finley from a button-down cop into a John McClane-like action hero. Season 3 could offer many scenes of Reacher building up Richard's confidence, even acting fatherly toward him. It would show us a softer side of the remorseless killing machine. The show could even take inspiration from the timeless relationship in Terminator 2, with Reacher taking the place of the protective robot. By giving Reacher someone he can directly protect and grow to care for over the season, we can get some of the kindness from Reacher that was sorely missing in Season 2. Police, don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Reacher Season 1 was based on the very first book, The Killing Floor. However, Season 2 jumped all the way to the 11th book, Bad Luck and Trouble. In order to make this jump, the show stated that 2 years had passed between seasons. According to Reacher himself, he even had time to live through the plot of the book One Shot, which was previously adapted into the first Tom Cruise movie. However, don't expect the same kind of time jump between Season 2 and 3. Persuader is actually the 7th book in the series, meaning that the show is going backwards. After adapting Bad Luck and Trouble, this means they have less of an excuse for the gap between stories. This, coupled with Nigali's insistence that Reacher get in touch more than once every 2 years, means that season May 3rd only take place months, or even weeks, after Season 2. Of course, we've talked about what we can expect to see in Season 3 that's different from before. However, some things will never change. Among those is Reacher's pattern of loving them and leaving them. In the first season, Reacher gets into a romantic relationship with local cop Roscoe Conlon. At the end of the season, despite seeming happy together, Reacher leaves her behind and hits the road once again. The same thing happened in Season 2 when he hooked up with former Special Investigator Carla Dixon. It was a little more mutual, as they both agreed that the relationship was purely physical. Well, expect the same thing in Season 3, more or less, with new character agent Susan Duffy, played by Sonia Cassidy. Duffy is an attractive and capable DEA agent with a strong right hook and a keen mind. Reacher doesn't stand a chance romantically. They could also end up subverting this by killing her off to create pain for Reacher. Maybe he thinks she could actually be the one, but loses her in a fight with Pulley or Quinn. Either way, expect Reacher to end the season as single as he started it. With the plot of Season 3 following Persuader, Reacher will be working closely with some DEA agents. So far, these are set to be Agent Mauro Villanova, Agent Susan Duffy, and Agent Stephen Elliott. With 3 people knowing Reacher's true purpose and getting close to Zachary Beck, expect one of them not to be who they seem. Brian Tees Quinn is said to be the big bad of Season 3, a former subject of an investigation by Reacher's old team. Quinn holds a deep grudge against the former military police officer. It's possible that he has an extended reach into the DEA itself and is using the situation to get close to his old enemy. While it's possible that love interest Susan Duffy may be secretly corrupt, it's more likely that one of the other 2 agents will be in on the evil scheme. It's not unlike Agent Pickard from Season 1, who seemed like a strong ally until his sudden but inevitable betrayal. Season 3 could repeat this, but with Reacher now a little wiser and a little less trusting. That could make all the difference this time around. Reacher Season 3 is on the way. The exciting new season offers new opportunities, familiar faces, and interesting developments. Alan Ritchson is returning to the character that he has already made legendary, with a chance to see Reacher show some more humanity and even face a challenge he can't just beat up. Season 3 of Reacher is bound to be an exciting entry in the hit Amazon series. What else do you expect to happen in Season 3? Thank you for watching.